Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Baldr Sky. Dive 1. I just came back from the gym, ate some food, and watched a bit more 100 line. I gotta say, at this point, after like watching Odd One for playing for, I don't know, 50 plus hours, I'm kind of invested in 100 line. Sadly, the problem with that game was the first like 20 hours was kind of like boring, no joke. A lot of the things that happened in the first 20 hours or 25 hours was basically a character introduction. Like, I get it, sometimes you gotta have character arcs on your prologue and whatnot, but I feel like it could have been condensed a lot more. I feel like what they were trying to do in that prologue was just way too much. Not to mention there was also a lot of like free time where nothing was going on. And not gonna lie, I actually I have a, you know, like a custom firmware switch. So I got the game myself because I don't know whether or not Odd One is going to 100% the game. And you know, it's like sunk cost fallacy at this point. I feel like at this point, I want to know 100% of what's going on in the game. And he might not necessarily like do everything for 100% in that game. Because the first route that he did after the prologue was actually quite amazing. And it was very nice. But the two that he's done after that was a bit, you know, hit or miss. And to me personally, I think it's a miss. But yeah. I'm kind of like, you know, already invested enough that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put some time into that. So I got the game right. And I haven't finished the prologue, sadly, and I was skipping everything. I played the game for maybe about 5 hours or something, and I'm about 60%, 65% of the prologue. So kind of crazy how long it is. Yeah, I'm about probably 5 hours in. But yeah, let me talk about the last episode recap before we start off this episode. Because we are playing this right now. So in the last episode, after we went out of our way from the area where that guy was, the NPC area, we saw Nanoha, right? We saw Nanoha in Anonymous City. And yeah, I think we met up with Masa again. No, did we met up with Masa at that time? Let me actually load the game first and like take a look at the flowchart real quick, so that I have a better understanding of what's going on. I believe in Bootlegger, we did just meet up with Father Gregory. Yeah, we went to his space and then we met up with him. I think. I could be mistaken. It's been quite a while since I last played this. It's been a week, right? This happens, guys, when I'm actually playing games that require like a lot of memory. That's why I don't do a lot of playthroughs at the same time, because I feel like right now I'm doing this playthrough and I'm doing Amayui, right? Amayui is very simple. So it's very easy for me to remember what's going on in Amayui because a lot of things that happen there are filler. In this game, it's quite difficult because you gotta remember the abbreviations, you gotta remember the factions, you gotta remember what was going on the previous route, right? This game is basically similar to what's going on with 100 Line too. So that's the reason why I don't do multiple playthroughs, especially these very difficult to remember ones at once, because I know for a fact that I'm not gonna remember what the hell I'm doing if I skip like a day or something from playing the game. Especially since, you know, the past 2 days I've been kind of non-stop playing 100 Line. So that game has actually been on my mind instead of this one. But I kind of remember at the end of the last episode, Chinatsu was going here after she asked us to get access to Arval City. And it was kind of, not kind of, but it was implied, I guess, yeah. It was implied that Nanoha had something to do with Drexler. Like, we know for a fact that that her parents are directly involved with Drexler, but what I'm trying to say is that maybe she right now, as her current self, the present self, is in cahoots with Drexler themselves. So that might be why she has a route herself, right? Instead of just the typical, like, childhood friend one. She's actually part of a faction that we're trying to pursue. And yeah, Chinatsu, we kind of know at this point, is basically a part of GOAT. And yeah, the reason why they had a lot of issues is because Nanoha still believes in Kurihara, but Chinatsu doesn't believe in him anymore. I don't know. I actually don't know whether or not to believe in Kurihara or not. His mannerisms doesn't really make him seem like he's an asshole, right? Or he's someone that thinks about himself. But you never know. You never know. But yeah, this is exactly after that. Well, after Chinatsu and Nanoha had a scuffle. So let's see what's happening here. Nanoha was waiting outside for me when I got back to the dorm. God damn it, my controller double clicks. There we go. Seems like Nanoha is aware that Chinatsu went through her fair share as well. There's something especially painful about two people who understand one another clashing like this. My gut feeling tells me no, but, at the same time, humans are not very honest, Nanoha. So, for all we know, that he might have treated us as strangers and he was using his, kind persona to us. She hangs her head down for a moment. The tears welling up in her eyes are more than apparent once she raises it again. I've been kind of lying to you, the fact that I'm not a soldier. For just a moment, I find myself ready to give her the answer she's hoping for. Enough's enough, though. I don't want to lie to her anymore. Sorry that you guys keep seeing my mouse at times. I'm actually, on my separate monitor, I'm downloading something. So I'm just looking to see if it's finished or not. She lets out a cry and scurries off. I try to search around for her afterward, but to no avail. The sun's already close to setting by the time I get back to the dorm. I met with nothing but silence. I checked as much of Arvel City as I could, but Nanoha had pretty much up and vanished. She probably logged out from this place. Oh yeah, they have a data, or I guess they have a friend list to see whether or not they've logged out. Kind of like, when you're in a game, or maybe when you're on Steam or something, right? I can't be bothered doing anything at this point though, so here I am sprawled out in my bed. The almost deafening silence brings to life the one part of me that I've never revealed to anyone. I hate being alone. Or rather, I hate being alone in a silent home. I can deal with being alone in and of itself. The issue comes when I'm indoors. That might be just one of the reasons I got so attached to the internet. I actually prefer being indoors rather than being outside. I don't mind both being indoors and outside when I'm alone, to be honest. When I'm outside, I gotta have something to do though, like whether I have a tablet to play some a Bandery or Project Sekai, or maybe if I'm out and about, I have my bike so that I can just go around and cycle everywhere, right? If I'm indoors, of course, I have access to a lot of those, like my PC, my tablet, and yeah, I can even just meal prep downstairs at the kitchen, and that takes usually about 2 to 3 hours. So it's pretty easy for me to spend my time alone. As I lie there feeling listless, a call from Rain arrives. I breathe a sigh of relief the moment I see her face. Give me a sec here. My download is done. So let me just do that. Boom, boom, boom. There we go.
ってくれなかった言葉ですね。
ああ、頭が穴あきチーズになって以来、腐った冗談も言えるようになってな。要は聞き流してくれ。
いえ、本気にします。では今からそちらに向かいますから。
She cuts off following that. I feel like Rain is a pretty nice friend. It doesn't take long for her to arrive in Arvel City afterwards.
感謝する。が、わざわざ冗談を真に受けなくてもよかったの。
But I don't know, like the way I am, guys. It's very difficult for me to see these sort of scenes. Like, I understand that people, if they want to vent to someone, it's gonna make them better. But at the same time, I'm one of those people that see venting as, I don't know, maybe a bit of a waste of time, right? I mean, occasionally it's okay to vent, but if you do it a lot, I feel like, I don't know, it's just not a good habit to have, you know?
いえ、周囲のサポートは私の仕事ですから。
There's something warm and comforting about her smile. Maybe it's thanks to the sunset.
お前もちょっと変わったな。
注意ほどではありません。
Okay, that was a quick
早
download.
速愚痴を聞かせていただきましょうか。
Give me one more second here.
いや、
I cannot take up her offer when she smiles like that, so I tell her everything that happened today.
皆さん情に熱いですね。それに比べれば私は冷たい女です。
I mean, I'm also a cold person, Rain. She lets out a sigh in response to what she's heard.
レインは別に冷たくはないさ。
いえ、母校の褒章はほぼ全員が灰色のクリスマスの時に死亡しましたが、私はそのために涙を流したことはありません。
I mean, did you have anyone you cared about in Hosho? I don't think so.
あの時私が泣いたのはただ一人、いえ、たった二人のためだけです。
Me and Sora, I guess?
だったら、レインは冷たくないさ。
I feel genuine sympathy for her. There's no doubt that she experienced the same pain I did when I lost Sora. What's more, I fully understand how she's feeling right now.
確かに、千夏も菜の葉も情に熱い。だからこそ、心の傷も根深いんだろうけど。
だったら菜の葉さんを何としても見つけて和解しなくてはいけませんね。
I mean, I personally feel like it was Ko's mistake in the first place to lie to Nanoha. Like, I get that, you know, it's a downer to say that you don't really want to become a soldier and then suddenly you become a soldier, right? But what's the point of lying? Like, I guess this is also one of my big principles, right? I don't like lying, even like little white lies at times. I don't know. I just find it very weird to lie. For the most part, I kind of consider lying to bring more headaches than not.
まさか、アークの敷地内で菜の葉の居場所を探知できるのか？
注意。最初にここに来た日、私が漫然と遊んでいたと思われますか？
まあ言った。高3だよ、レイン。なんでお前みたいに優秀なのが俺の部下で居続けてくれるんだろうな。
I'm gonna go save my game because you never know when my game might crash.
それはあなたが命の恩人だからですよ。
She flashes me a smile, then closes her eyes to focus on her search.
まさかこんな。
It doesn't take long for her to stop.
どうした？何か異常でもあったのか？
Okay, is she in somewhere illegal again?
妙です。どう見てもウイルスとしか思えない反応がアーバルシティのあちらこちらから。
She's saying somewhere in Arvel City, here and there. Achira and Kochira,
ウ
right?
イルスだって？まさか。
Oh, sorry. I take a quick look around. Arvel City's foundations are built on the concept of security. It's hard to imagine that a virus could worm its way in.
間違いありません。タイプ名まで識別できます。これはゴートの拠点攻撃用ウイルスです。
Is this actually Chinatsu?
どうなってるんだ一体。ウイルスへの警戒を続けてくれ、レイン。俺はセーラーおばさんに問い合わせてみる。
Wow, Chinatsu really made use of us, huh?
いや、
She closes her eyes again. I get in touch with Aunt Sarah. She picks up in a flash.
おばさん、 この領域にウイルスが。
ええ、私もやっと今気づいたところよ。
She's not disturbed in the slightest, almost like it's just another day for her.
部活だったわ。そんな奥の方の領域にウイルスが出現するなんて。
ではアイスを突破されたんじゃないんですね。
もちろんアークのアイスやゴートで突破困難ね。
Which means someone brought the virus in here directly then. But who could? Chinatsu's face comes to mind, but I brush it off quickly. God. This is what happens when you're too emotional or sentimental. Come on, it's clearly her.
今保安部隊を出動させたわ。大丈夫。この程度ならアーバルシティには影響ないわ。
Like, I know it's also circumstantial evidence, the fact that this happened right as she, you know, came here. But at the very least, she definitely knows something. There's no way she's not part of this plan.
そうですか。
あなたはアキさんたちを守ってあげて。お願いできるわね。
She stares at me with her pearly eyes. I feel like this route actually has a lot more combat compared to the first route. I like that because the combat is also quite difficult in hard mode here. Pretty as they are, I can sense the slightest bit of emotion from them.
もちろん命に変えても守ります。
たくましくなったわ。ほう。
Just as those seemingly emotionless eyes begin to display a faint sense of warmth, she cuts off the line between us.
レイン、二人の居場所はわかるか。
もちろん。ではついてきてくださいな。
Both of us set out, with Rain taking the lead.
コウさん、あれを。
I cast my attention to where she's looking, only to be met with a swarm of viruses rushing past us.
識別番号からしてアークの保安部隊のもののようですね。
Just as Rain's explaining the situation, said viruses are swiftly disposed of.
こんな場所でドンパチ始めやがって。レイン、アキネたちは。
今探しています。見ました。2時の方向約200仮想メートル。
The remains of a giant weapon lie in the direction she points. They should be okay though, because this place has a limiter, so she's not like fully in danger, right? Aki and Anohara are hugging each other behind it. Why the hell are they in a place like this? Right by them are viruses firing at one another. Seeing them in a situation reminds me just how big they are though. Not that that matters right now.
注意、何をしているんですか。早くシフトして助けないと。
ああ、わかってる。
When I try to shift, a thought crosses my mind. Nanoha knows what my simulacrum looks like. How will she feel if she sees me engaging in combat in an area with no limiter? What? This area has no limiter? I don't get it. I thought this is Arvel City. It's so weird. I'm so confused about how the limiter works. Do viruses just remove the limiter?
構うもんか。今はためらってる場合じゃねえ。
I don't get it. I shift into my simulacrum while shouting at myself. Just then, a virus isn't flying towards the both of them. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff that I don't understand in this game. In the like, you know, like story, I guess. Achievements. Don't really care too much about achievements. Combo records. Don't really care about that either. Count records, don't care either. Best records, yeah, whatever. I don't really care about records, guys. I used to be like an achievement hunter. I used to try to get platinum on my games on PS4, or you know, like even before PS4 on my PS Vita. But at some point, I'm just like, yeah, this is just not worth my time, because a lot of the stuff that makes you get those trophies are garbage stuff you need to farm and grind. Boosted kick. I mean, I only have 300, so there's no way I have anything here. I'm just gonna try to remember my combo. There we go. Is my rifle almost done? Let me take a look at my rifle though, at the very least. Rifle, how many times have I used the rifle? Is it level 3 yet? I guess you look at level 3 on the equipment page. It's level 2 still. It's getting closer. Arm shot is still level 1. Jumping knee is almost level 3. Sliding kick. Wire drag is of course level 3. Can I switch drill punch with or straight punch with something else? That's just such a long like downtime. I don't like it. Handgun is almost maxed out too, but I don't think I really need it anymore. Boosted kick. Yeah, boosted kick sucks. This also sucks because that's only one melee. I still like the Assault Bardish the best. Man, I really wish we got something more than this. Yeah, the system where you need to keep using everything to get other like stuff really pisses me off. I really dislike that. There's another tutorial here. Overheat counters. The damage increase that accompanies a higher heat gauge has been covered before. However, there are other risks to be mindful of. Should the heat gauge go past its max, okay, and you receive a blow that knocks you away, the result becomes far more dramatic. More dramatic, is that it? Does it at least do more damage? This is called an overheat counter, and you'll be unable to recover from the effects until you land. Oh, okay, that's usually what happens to me after I use the, like force crash after a combo, right? And then I get juggled like to no end. Multiple enemies will be able to juggle you in the air during this time, so do be careful when your heat gauge goes past its limit. Yeah, I had to face that like, directly. Fortunately, I'm able to blast it away before it reaches them. Talk about breaking a cold sweat. I look down to check if they're okay, only to see them staring up at me in shock. I can pick up their voices just fine in here. Nano's look of disbelief is reflected in the high-resolution screen too. We look more appetizing than Arx's virus? So they're actually attacking us? What? I thought these things are supposed to be... Huh? I thought these are like the defense protocols or security for Ark.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay. My mind flashes back to the time when I stood to a gang of bullies. That sets my heart ablaze. He was right. It's simple. I take a deep breath and then turn my attention to the swarm of viruses. The raging fire in my heart dies down, turning into a steady yet indomitable flame. I stamp my foot down and take aim at them. I'm not gonna die. What the hell are you talking about? I might not know a lot of Japanese, but even I know what the hell she's screaming. Oh, come on. I gotta remember that these Scorpio ones are actually the annoying ones, yeah. Yeah, these ones right here. These guys are easy, the white ones. Yeah, those white ones are pretty damn easy. But the Scorpions are definitely annoying. Okay, I think I killed quite a few of the white ones. No, I didn't. Shame. Yeah, see, the white ones go down very quickly because they don't really do a lot of like range AoE. But this one is definitely a bit more annoying. Didn't do a lot of rifling there. Okay, I gotta save my game. And there goes my download. So give me 1 minute, guys. Give me another minute right here. Let's see. Asia. Boom, boom. Okay, that one. And then this one and this one. Give me just 1 more second here. There we go.
いえ、まだ来ます。どうやら我々は敵の最優先破壊目標に設定されたようで。
ちょうどいい。敵をおびき出して市街の外で決着をつけるぞ。
So we're luring the viruses, right? It's so weird. I think we're actually fighting the viruses and not the the security of Ark. I don't know why they said it was Ark security before. You know, because they said we look a lot more appetizing than Ark's viruses, right? We let the viruses trail us for a while, eventually ending up at a generic-looking structure.
ここなら周囲の損害を気にせず力いっぱい戦えます。
Rain prepares a weapon.
よし。2人で敵を全滅ってのを目指してみるか。
いいですね。それ。
よし、レイン。一気も逃すなよ。
やあ。
Annoying. Okay, I messed up my combo there. Are these new? No, I don't think they're new. Maybe they have like new attacks. But I definitely think these guys are not new. Okay, thank you. Come over here, yes. Come over here. That should kill actually everyone. I got lucky because they kind of attached to you. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, they attached to you. Look at that. Yeah, they attached to you, so they were trying to attach to me, but I was still in the animation for doing the force crash. So that killed a lot of them.
注意、ノルマはこなしましたよ。
よし、残りは頑張って2人で片付けるか。
Next on the menu are these. Why does that one keep bouncing off? I guess he flies off. Yeah, I guess that guy actually jumps up. Annoying bastard, that red one. Jesus. Rain. I was cornered there. All you could do was actually help me out. Okay. These guys are way easier than the enemies I had to fight for the minion. Like, holy hell, the minion's like fight was very difficult. Sarah's voice rings through my head as I finish off the last virus.
コウさん、聞こえるかしら。
I mean, these guys are just viruses after all.
え
No
え、とりあえ
simulacrums.
ず目につくウイルスは片っ端から倒しましたよ。
ご苦労様、助かるわ。コウさん、ついでに一つお願いしていいかしら。
Let me save my
セー
game.
ブします。よろしいでしょうか。
何ですか？
重機動ウイルスがエゴ層に侵入したの。無論私たちも追っ手を繰り出していますけど。
Arc's virus. Okay, so that's what they mean. So virus is basically just a security protocol. I thought that viruses were you know, actual viruses, but no. It seems that that is just what they use for a term for security protocol, or you know, like unmanned, you know, basically security, yeah. Well, maybe not necessarily always security, but you know, whether you're trying to defend or attack, they're using the same term, which is weird. She knows how to make something so serious sound like an ordinary event.
実は大変ですね。位置は？
コウさんの後方30仮想メートル。いえ、そろそろ0仮想メートル。
Okay, it's those red ones.
いやあ、とにかく追いかける。
本当に助かるわ。無論それなりの謝礼は。
いいですよ。俺はおばさんにカビだらけだから。
どうやら敵は AI のコアを目指しているようですね。
狙いはアークのデータかもな。
Chinatsu's words come to mind.
絶対にアークは何かを隠している。うかつに信じるとまた裏切られるよ。
Yeah, she's also saying that before she left, right? At the very end of the episode. Don't trust Ark. I shake my head as if to rid myself of such thoughts. I mean, there's definitely secrets everywhere in all of the factions. Whether we're with Ark, whether we're with Goat, whether we're with, what's the other one? The CDF. There are hostiles blocking the hall ahead of us. They must be protecting our main target. That's why I kinda like it when we were just doing our own thing as separate mercenaries. That's what we were doing in Rain's route. What I didn't like was the fact that, you know, the romance happened. But as a route itself, I actually do enjoy the fact that we didn't go through... we didn't join up with any of the factions, right? We were our own, like, unit. We didn't even join up with our dad. Thank you, Rain. So when you're stunned, it actually seems like you kinda don't really care whether an enemy is airborne or ground. It's kinda cool. Can you kill that Rain? Having to stop to do the long range is very annoying this game. I don't think I'm gonna be unlocking anything like this. This is a shame. I also, I hate it. I don't want to change my loadout because everything else sucks. I have to use the drill. I have to use all those other garbage things.
Yeah.
Wish there were more, but I'll settle with just one.
いいだろへいはっ切り裂けへい当たれへい見えた見えた当たれへい切り裂け
計算通りです。
へいはっ切り裂けと
Wow, that was actually a combo with Rain. I think what she did was she threw a grenade, but I was using the wire thing. So it went instantly to the grenade.
切り裂けへいどうした当たれへいはっ切り裂けほらへい当たれできたロックへいはっ切り裂けほらへい当たれへい
That's still not a kill? Interesting. There we go. Okay, my download's done, but I will be fighting first. Come on. I think we killed one here. Two? Ah, the scorpion ran away. Shame. Where the heck is Rain? Yeah, my combo, thankfully, even if you like miss out on some of the hits, you can kind of still salvage it. Okay, last one.
計算通りです。チャージ完了。スタンクレア。演習通りです。
She used the force crash on that just one single enemy.
相当奥まで来ちゃったな。
ええ、部外者でここまで潜ったのは我々がおそらく初めて。注意、前方を見てください。
Alright, save my
セー
game.
ブします。よろしいでしょうか。
The structure's flooring cuts off at a point. In its place now is sand. I can hear the sound of waves not too far from here.
こんなところに水が。
Are we at the edge of Ark City? Arvol City, sorry. A river enveloped in fog spreads out before our eyes, a sight for none other than the two of us. Or maybe this isn't really Arvol City anymore, this is a part of Ark. You know, sometimes when you're inside of an instance, if you go out of bounds, I'm guessing this is the outer layer, right? It might be. Or so I thought. The virus we were tracking is heading towards the river, almost like a turtle returning to sea.
注意、どうしますか。
もちろん破壊する。
We were tracking, so this is the goat's virus, right?
へいはっ切り裂けへいまた来るのか。
計算通りです。
へいはっ切り裂けへい当たれへい
行きます。貫いて。計算通りです。
Come on.
へいはっ切り裂けどうしたへい当たれへい
These guys are fish.
覚悟しな
Mola mola. Yeah, they're fish like viruses. Interesting.
あーできた
Interesting how they look like fishes.
へい
Where is it?
へいはっ
Okay, there we go.
へい
Jeez. What an annoying asshole. He's just running away.
へいへいできた
Is it dead? Okay. Is that it? I mean, I've seen like the one that looked like a crab before, but this one was definitely a fish. I shift out of my simulacrum and stand by the riverside once the battle is done.
セーブします。よろしいでしょうか。
なんなんだこ ここは。
神秘的な光景ですね。まるで冥府につながっているようです。
On Sarah's hologram appears beside us as we stare at the river.
ここから先は S。入ってはいけないわ。
Give me a sec, I'm trying to download something.
AI の無意識領域。ここから先は仮想空間としての形を成していない場所です。
An area containing the AI's subconsciousness. So this is where the AI's brain is? Well, I don't know if you can call it a brain, maybe the heart?
ここがその境目ってわけですか。
I peer into the chaos beyond the wall of gray. The internet was born through the human mind. AI, in response to this, began constructing their own fabricated world. Life itself may collapse if it enters the sea. The fog itself may even be a product of mine and Rain's thoughts. A familiar voice rings out from beyond the fog. Is this Ku's voice? The moment I think that, Ku appears by the seaside.
注意。
Rain grabs hold of my arm out of nowhere. That helps me realize that I'm waist deep in water.
引き上げた方がいいでしょう。長居すれば精神に悪影響が出るかもしれません。
Yeah, I guess the AI's subconscious or the AI's heart is basically something that we don't understand. It's basically if people try to get inside of our brains, right? You can see the physical brain itself, but you can't go inside of our minds, right? Is what I'm trying to say. I can't see Ku anymore. Because if you think about something, that doesn't necessarily mean, like, you know, your brain physically changes. Like, sure, it's gonna fire neurons and stuff, but... You know, you don't know what the hell you're actually imagining about, is what I'm trying to say. What's more, Ark's viruses have reached the area as well.
あとは任せるから。引き返すぞ、レイン。
いや、
We leave the side of the ocean behind without so much as turning back. The next evening, I make my way back to Arvel City.
こう。
Oh, I don't know if you guys heard that. I was cracking my neck. I find Aki standing about at its seishu.
頭が疲れた。
すごい顔。ひょっとして徹夜かい？
うん。よそからもデータ引っ張ってきて参考にした。
Both of us take a look around campus. The place looks just as it did back in the day, all thanks to Aki.
ところで、これを見て。近くで見つけた。
She grasps my hand and forces something into it.
アキネ、これって。
うん。ウイルスのシード。外部から誰かが持ち込んだみたい。
A virus seed.
まさか、千夏が。
I mean, I definitely think it's Shinatsu.
考えたくない。
She leans herself against me, burying her face into my chest. Every time you guys see the cursor popping up, that means I just finished downloading something on my other monitor. Sorry about that.
アキネ。
ごめん。ちょっと、こうさせて。
The sadness in her tone is palpable. That takes its toll on me, leading me to wrap my arms around her.
みんな、バカ。
Silence follows that. Instead, the subtle quivering of her shoulders tell me everything she's feeling. Sometime later, she raises her head.
どうしたの？
ごめん。職場から呼び出し。
そうなんだ。今晩は帰ってくるの？
My own words make me realize that I almost forgot that this is just cyberspace.
ごめん。学園に時間を取られちゃって。
謝らないで。仕事頑張ってね、アキネ。
Give me a sec again. Let me see if I still need to download something. Maybe I don't need to? Let's see. Nah, I still need to. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Give me 1 more second. Alright, we good?
頑張る。
She finally smiles again. Chances are that she's forcing it, yet I can't help but appreciate it.
そうそう。菜の葉に会ってあげて。
うん、そのつもりだけど。菜の葉は一体どこにいるの？
今、ちょうど、こうの後ろ。
後ろって？
I turn around in a panic, and there she is.
よう、菜の葉。
This, oh, sorry about that. This couldn't be more awkward if we tried.
じゃあ、ごゆっくり。
Aki makes a swift exit, leaving only the two of us at the Sunset Bath Academy.
菜の葉。昨日はすまん。実は。
懐かしいよね。
Nanoha, I think you gotta listen to the truth rather than trying to, you know, what do you call this? Change the mood? Not really change the mood, but you know, when you're trying to subvert the things you don't want to hear.
懐かしいね。この風景。もう、二度と見られないかと思ってたよ。
Her voice is quivering ever so slightly.
そうだな。俺も同感だ
Oh,
よ。
sorry about that. The moment I answer, she latches onto my arm.
学園脇の草原も作ったんだな。
あそこは千夏先輩の思い出の場所だから、アキ先輩が作ってあげようって。
That field. Is it the field that she was playing, you know, soccer for? Or is it the field where Ku was? I don't know. Because the area where we were at, it kind of seemed like, you know, the area where Ku was, right?
そうか。
So that's why they were there yesterday. Now it makes sense.
一生懸命作ったんだよ。二人であれこれ思い出話とかしながら。
I can't bring myself to say anything. Instead, I just pat her head softly.
千夏先輩。私、大好きだったのにな。
Well, people change, Nanoha. She casts her eyes to the sunset, gripping my arm as tightly as possible. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my siblings change after they married too. The reason why I feel like my family is a lot more tight-knit now is because, you know, after they divorce, they actually stop thinking just about themselves. And actually start thinking about, you know, the family. She suddenly smiles.
なんだいきなり。
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to respond to people changing, right? Sometimes you just gotta adapt to it. Sometimes you just gotta accept it. Sometimes you miss the old days. I don't know. I mean, as long as they're not going in the direction where it's clearly a bad thing, I think people are free to do whatever they want, right? That's what I think now. But when I was younger, for sure, I was definitely... I felt abandoned by a lot of my siblings. And do they care back then? Not really. So that's how I adapt my current personality.
見てこう。校庭の池に変なものが咲いてる。
確かにハスの花は咲いてたけど、あんなに大きくなかったよな。
ましてや仏様なんか座ってないし。見て、泳いでる魚にクジラが混じってる。
Yeah. I get that Nanoha is trying to run away, maybe not run away, but you know, trying to overlook the current situation, but I dislike that. I really dislike it when people do that. When they're running, not really running away, but turning a blind eye to the truth in front of them, right? We spent so much time working on it, and now all this weird stuff is back again. Also, Nanoha's smile is kind of forced. She's not just laughing at this weird sight.
もうおかしいな。アキ先輩って相変わらずなんだから。
The look in her eyes is more telling than her smile. It's fading away, slowly but surely. She's biting her lip, almost as if to hold it all back.
こう
She suddenly grasps my arm.
再現したのは学園だけじゃないんだよ。
他にどこか再現した場所があるのか？
一緒に来てくれる？
I nod. She takes my hand and starts walking. The laboratory?
こ
Oh,
こは
Minamiyasaka? We're standing on a path in a rural area. We also saw this in the other timeline, but at that point, I think Nanoha was saying about how, you know, you have your own thing to do and I have my own thing to do.
南朝霞だよ。懐かしいでしょ、こう。
I stop in place, not saying a word. I think I told you guys this, but I'm one of those people where I feel like nostalgia is something that should be only in your head. As much as I want to re-experience the feeling that nostalgia gives you, it's not going to be the same. The reason why I say that is because I started playing a lot of the old games that I used to really enjoy back in the day, but because my brain cannot go back to how it was when I was a kid, you know? I wasn't very fluent at English yet also back then, so a lot of the things always feel like adventures. When I found something new, when I found a new town, when I found new enemies, when I beat up a boss, it always felt fresh. But now, I don't think my brain can actually feel that. Well, not as much anyway.
いろいろあったよね。
あ
Oh, sorry about that.
いろいろありすぎたよな、ここは。
That's the path on which Mom and I walked as we held hands. That's the persimmon tree under which Dad gave me a ride on his shoulders. Its fruits were good too. This is also the place where I lost Mom and my faith in Dad. Both good and bad memories come back to me all at once.
こう。
Nanoha buries her face in my chest.
おい、ナノハ。
Oh, give me a sec here. Need to download something again. I know you're gonna cry, Nanoha. Give me just 1 second. Sorry for the immersion break. There we go.
ここでした約束。覚えている？
I cast my mind back to a certain scene from our childhood days.
だったらこう、おじいさんになっても一人ぼっちなんだね。
Yeah, I remember. We made the sort of promise only kids would hear.
私、想像しただけで寂しいよ。おばあさんになっても一人だなんて。
She's saying something about my mom, I guess, Obasan? Then again, it might be a bit too cynical a promise for regular kids.
覚えてるよ。老後の約束をしたんだよな。それからその後は学園で再会する約束を。
覚えててくれたんだ。
She lets out a sigh of relief, then smiles.
当たり前だ。あの約束は俺の中じゃまだ有効だ。
実は私も。
Is it really the same one? How the fuck? What are you talking about yourself fully intend on keeping? I thought it was... He clearly said to meet again at Seishu. Oh, that and to meet again at Seishu. I see. I think it's about protecting her or something, right? I'm not sure if it's thanks to the sunset or not, but her expression actually makes my heart skip a beat. That serves as a reminder that, despite everything, she's matured as well.
でも俺お前との約束一つ破っちゃったんだよな。ごめん、ナノハ。俺傭兵なんだ。あちこち戦って世界中いろんなところを転々として今も戦い続けてる。
実はうすうす感づいていたよ。
Her voice begins to waver again.
だけど気のせいに違いないって思い込もうとしてた。
She clenches her fists, doing everything she can to hold back the tears.
方が危ないことをしてるなんて考えたくなかったから 王がいなくなるのを考えたら、それだけで私もう。
That line is the breaking point for her. A single tear runs down her cheek.
ごめん、心配かけて。けど、もう破らない。他の約束は守る。安心してくれ。嘘はつかない。
Sorry about that. Was downloading something yet again?
きっとこうは守ってくれるよね。
She squeezes my arm. The tears are flowing freely at this point. That causes something to burst inside me. I wrap my arms around her and hug her tight.
こう。
俺、結局、正義の味方になれなかった。空も千夏も守ってやれなかった。
それでもこうは私にとっては正義の味方だよ。
Being hugged by me causes her to finally break down. I don't try to stop it though. I just keep hugging her until she settles down. I'm not even sure how long it takes for that to happen. Feeling slightly embarrassed by the situation, she gives me a shy smile. I try to smile back, but something prevents me from doing so.
注意、至急ログアウトしてください。
なんだ。
Our bodies?
鈴代で不穏な動きがあります。ここは危険かもしれません。
As I said, we really should have just gone back to Ark.
わかった。
I say bye to Nanoha, then log out.
注意、お戻りになられましたか。
Let me save my
セー
game.
ブします。よろしいでしょうか。
ああ。しかしこれは一体。
注意、身を伏せて。
Rain pulls me by the arm the moment I get up from the console. From what I can tell, she's making us take cover on the floor behind it.
一体何の騒ぎだ。
Yeah, this is new because before, we never actually got attacked here in the net cafe, in the other route. Or maybe there was a search, wasn't there? There was a search too, but I think because we were always with Rain, we instantly get out. Both of us take cover together. A quick look over to the entrance tells me that the customers are arguing with the CDF.
なんだよ、お利口に用なんかねえんだよ。
この引きこもりども、邪魔だ。どけ。帰れ帰れ帰れ。ほら、お虫工房街でしょっぴくぞ。
国家権力が介入すんな。
ほら、やんのかこら。参ったな。騒ぎには巻き込まれたくないんだが。
そうですね。裏口でも探して脱出しましょうか。
An angry voice reverberates throughout the cafe all of a sudden.
なんだ貴様、捜査の邪魔をする気か。
何が捜査さ、このスケベ。あたいを棺桶から引っ張り出して、お前この匂いでもクンクンしてんのか？あ？
What the fuck? What is wrong with these people? I mean, are the police in this world really that corrupt that they would do that? I don't know though. Maybe it's a common occurrence.
誰がお前の腐れマックなど人並みに文句が言いたければたまには風呂ぐらい入ったらどうなんだ。
てんな、レディになんてこと言いやがるんだ。
How narcissistic are you supposed to be to say that to it? Anyway. And thus, the inevitable fisticuffs begin. Both the officer and the naked lady are throwing wild punches. They were naked inside of the console? Really?
とりあえず裏口を探してみましょう。
ああ、長いは無用だな。
Saying that, we start to sneak along to the back door. There's a pile of boxes near the door. Someone's hiding behind them. I make eye contact with Rain to confirm my next action and poke at them.
おい、
They let out a surprisingly high screech before shooting right up and knocking the boxes over. She's also in the same place? Said figure was none other than Nanoha, who's now looking at us with a very troubled expression.
ナノハさん？
どうしてお前がここに。
それは私がここの店員だから。
Okay. You working here... You were really working here? You were just with us online though in the cyberspace. I don't know how easy it is for, you know, someone who works here to just use a console. Unless there's a work, you know, work only, like a staff only console.
腐れネット中毒者ども、狼なら全員逮捕する。 タバコで頭を冷やしやがれクズども。
とにかく来て。
She grabs our arms and leads us further into the cafe. I feel like she's lying. We finally stop to catch our breath once we reach the black market.
さすがにここまで逃げれば大丈夫だろうな。
ええ、誰も追っては来ていないようですね。
Nanoha's gaze is locked on me as she wheezes
で
heavily.
もナノハさん、店員ならどうして隠れたりしていたんですか？それはいろいろあって。
She averts her eyes while answering, making it clear she'd rather not be
ま
asked.
さかお前、手が後ろに回るような仕事をしてないよな。
しないよ。するわけないじゃない。
I don't believe that.
私、この自治都市に席を置いていないから。
Aren't there a lot of people like that though here? The patented refugee issue. A significant amount of people flooded into the surrounding areas after losing their homes during Great Christmas. That's proving to be an issue even today.
どうして隠していたんだ、そんなこと。
ごめんなさい。
I can tell how bad she feels about it by her body language and the look in her eyes. Rain quickly swoops in to help her out though.
コウさんに心配をかけたくなかった。そうですよね、ナノハさん。はい。
She nods her head in agreement.
野郎、黙ってられる方が心配だよ。
Not like you didn't actually keep a secret the fact that you're a mercenary, Kel. Talk about hypocritical.
これは私だってこうに言いたかったよ。
She grabs onto my sleeve, sulking a bit.
兵隊さんだって聞いて、
Yeah.
私に心配かけないように黙ってたのはわかるけど、
なのは
でも黙ってられる方が心配。こうと一緒だね。あまり幼馴染に隠し事をするものではありませんね。
She gives us both a warm smile.
率直に言って私たちは今追われる立場です。コウさん、注意は大切な幼馴染のあなたを争いに巻き込みたくないのですよ。私も同感です。今もあなたを巻き込んでしまうのではないかと正直ヒヤヒヤしています。
I mean, I don't know. Even though we were in the wanted list, in the other route, we were kind of given way too much leeway. Even when we we were like in custody by Goat, right? I don't know. I feel like we're chumps compared to compared to actual terrorists. We're chumps.
そんな巻き込まれるなんて。
She casts her head
そ
down.
んな顔をするな。ネットでだって会えるんだし、俺たちもこれ以上無茶をするつもりはないからさ。
She remains silent, almost like she's thinking of something.
それでは注意。そろそろ行きましょうか。
とにかくこれで菜の葉の居場所は分かったんだ。落ち着いたらまた連絡するからさ。
I pat her on the shoulder and try to take my leave.
ねえ、待って。だったら今晩だけでもうちに来ない？
菜の葉、お前今の話を聞いてなかったのかよ。
分かったから言ってるの。大丈夫。私の住んでる場所って隠れ家に最適なんだよ。
It hurts just to listen to her shout like this.
オーナーが言ってた。ここには CDF も来ないって。セキュリティも万全だそうだし。
I wouldn't be so trustworthy if I were you, Nanoha. I almost clutch at my heart. It's obvious how much she doesn't want to part with me.
もうお願い。
She's always been like this, though. It's probably gotten even worse now that she's living in the slums as a refugee. I'd be lying if I said I was fine with leaving her here. I also know full well how dangerous that train of thought can be, though.
注意。では一晩だけでもお世話になってはどうでしょうか。
しかし
どうせ行くところもありません。少しの間だけ菜の葉さんのそばにいてあげてはどうでしょうか。
レインらしくもない感傷的な意見だな。
干渉だけで言っているわけではありません。警官に対する反応からして菜の葉さんに何か後ろ暗い部分があるのではないか。
I mean, most likely. I don't really trust the fact that Nanoha is actually working there, to be honest. I cast my eyes back to Nanoha and do a quick search on the net.
CDF の指名手配リストには名前がないぞ。
それでもそばにいてあげた方が 身を守ることになるかもしれません。この町で女の子が生きていくのは大変でしょうから。
She does have a point. Nanoha doesn't have it in her to adapt to a life in the slums. Not as far as I know anyway. I don't know about that, Ko. Humans are like roaches, man. They adapt very easily. I mean, I don't know if modern humans are like that, but I feel like I'm definitely like a roach. I mean, I guess it depends on your upbringing. But, you know, there's actually way too many people nowadays. Natural selection isn't doing its job. I'm still kind of shocked that she'd even addressed the idea of us needing somewhere to lay low. That just makes me all the more curious about the kind of life she's leading right now.
決断してくださいな。ナノハさんは不安そうにしていますよ。
She's right. The expression on Nanoha's face says it all.
セーブします。
I'm guessing
よろ
we
しい
actually
でしょ
do
う
have
か
a choice here. If there is a choice, I'm probably gonna stay with Nanoha. Even though I like Chinatsu a bit more, I don't know, after her outbursts and what she did to Arvel City, I kinda don't trust her anymore, you know? I feel like Chinatsu is going down in the rankings for me, and I'm a lot more interested in what's going on in Arc. So I'm actually interested in Aki's route if there's gonna be an Aki route.
わかった。じゃあ少しだけ世話になる。いいな。
No choice. Maybe this is another forced playthrough or another forced route.
じゃあ一緒についてきて。
I can almost feel all the life return to her as she darts ahead of us. Oh, give me a second. Need to download something. That is done. This one is not done. Boom, boom. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. This one's a small one. It's just an update data. There we go. The place we arrive at ends up defying all my expectations.
お前の家ってここなのかよ。
What, is it a love hotel? Every inch of it sticks out like a sore thumb. It's really not that much different from the cheap place we were staying at after I lost my memories.
ネットカフェとオーナーが同じなんだよ。住み込みかって条件だったから働くことにしたんだけど。
ならいいけど。お前、本当に変な仕事してないよな。
Okay, that is very quickly. It's already done. Give me 1 second here. Need to download more stuff. There we go. Boom, boom. I know I'm saying boom, boom a lot, but it's because I watch too much Odd One, guys. I don't really say boom, boom all that often, but because I watch him, I kind of just got his like catchphrase and stuff sometimes.
変な仕事って何？
She pouts a bit, her face slightly flushed.
わかった。その反応からしてありえないよな。
でも女の子らしく飾ってありますよね。ちゃんとお掃除も行き届いていますし、それにほら、なんて素敵なポスター。
Was Ko actually trying to imply that she might be a sex worker?
レイン、フォローはいいが、無理がにじみ出ているぞ。
申し訳ありません。
I mean, the effort to make it look a bit nicer with flowers and such is worthy of praise. It's just not very effective though.
でも確かにここなら身を隠すには最適だな。個人が住んでいるなら盗撮カメラも盗聴器も仕組まれてはいないだろうし。悪い、ボロクソ言って。
Oh, sorry about
それ
that.
は別にいいよ。
Oh, sorry about that again. I actually hit my boom arm.
ただ、一つだけ聞いていい？
なんだよ。
こう、レインさん、もしかしてこういう場所に来たことあるの？
I hesitate for a moment. Is this what they mean by woman's intuition? She's on a mark though. That intuition might have led her to her own research now that she knows what business I'm in.
あるんだ。
そりゃ涼しろしで泊まれる宿なんてミッドスパイアや高級ホテルを除けばみんなこんなような場所なんだし。
別にいいんですけど。いや、レインさんのためですし、合意の上なら私がとやかく言うことなのかな。
Funny thing to say when you're pouting so hard you look like a balloon.
こう 所には何泊かしましたが、その間コウさんは私に手を出そうともしませんでしたよ。
Well, she's not lying. The way she said it made Nanoha turn beet red though, typo.
私は別にそんなことは何も。ほら、私ここに住んでるわけですし。ナノハさんこそ邪魔になったら言ってくださいね。私は表の空気でも吸っていますから。そんな気の回しすぎですってば。確かにこんな部屋ですけど、私は今さら何そんなの。
Don't worry, Nanoha. If this is just like the rain route, we're not gonna have an H scene until we're probably somewhere around here. So maybe about 4 more chapters or something.
すまんレイ、助かった。
これは私のためでもあります。嫉妬されては居心地が悪くなってしまいますから。まあ設備は整ってるし居心地は悪くないよ。場所が場所だけにそれなりの警備もされてるし。
Mating calls were sound from one of the neighboring rooms.
壁がちょっと薄いけど、それだって音楽でもかければ問題ないし。
She presses a switch on her monitor, leading the news to be projected onto one of the walls. That's Rain's dad. What was his name again?
なお、その際に起きた暴動はミッドスパイアをも巻き込む大規模なものに発展しており、有識者は憂慮の色を隠せません。
That must be about the raid on the nano bootleggers. Didn't realize that things had gone that far though. Nano bootleggers. I'm guessing it's when we went to the, the area where they were selling those NPCs.
それを受け、本日先ほど東郷軍の派遣部隊が我が鈴代市に到着。先遣部隊と合流し、鈴代市の失われた治安を取り戻すため、東郷軍は本格的な進駐を開始しました。
Yeah, this is exactly what happened when we were in Midspire back in Rain's route.
その中核はゴート。ネット関連の戦闘に特化した東郷軍きっての精鋭部隊です。
The screen is displaying lots of transport aircraft arriving at the airport.
CDF が市内の治安強化を図ったのはこれが原因か。
脈絡に少々不自然さを感じますが、結果的にはそのようですね。
正直 CDF ではこの町の治安維持は難しいのかもな。
I think back to the NPC dealer and their connections with the minion.
ドミニオン相手は荷が重いだろうからな。東郷軍に助けを求めたくもなるんじゃないか。
しかしドミニオンの主戦力はネットにあります。リアルなゲリラを相手にするには物々しい装備ですこと。
そうだな。MBT に IFV、機動歩兵に V トール攻撃機。一体どこの軍隊と戦争するつもりなんだよ。
What is MBT? Mobile something turret? IFVs? What is that?
明らかに狙いはドミニオンだけではありませんね。
The sound of her cuffing leads me to notice that she's staring at the both of us. Aw, crap. Me and Rain have been staring at each other the whole time. That's the thing about the chanting. I can't help but look at whoever I'm speaking to if they're nearby.
もっとロマンチックな番組に変えようか。
いや、いい。ニュースを見させてくれないか。
I turn my attention to the screen again, only to notice some bigwig from Goat on it.
つい先だってもミッドスパイアを巻き込んだ大規模な暴動がありました。このままでは治安は悪化する一方です。治安は回復されなければなりません。悪辣なカルト教団から今こそ都市外周部を奪還し平和な街を取り戻す時が来たのです。
相変わらず勇ましいです。
You can almost see the poison leaving her mouth.
この男を知っているのか。いや、俺が忘れてるだけかもしれないが。
父です。霧島勲少将。現ゴートアジア方面部隊の長官です。
Isao.
なんてこった。
どうしたんですか、店員さん。いえ、何か私に気になることでも。ただ、なんか怖い顔をしてましたから。
She should be saying that in present tense. It's bad enough that Nanoha seems a bit frightened.
聞かないでやってくれ。レンにもいろいろと事情があるんだよ。
ごめんなさい。そうですよね。人には事情がありますよね。
There's something oddly convincing about the way she says it. It's almost midnight by the time we settle down and have our Soylent Green for dinner.
ごめんね、こんなものしかなくて。それはナノハさんの責任ではありませんよ。でもどうせならお料理を作ってもてなしてあげたかったのにな。
She lets out a big sigh while putting away the dirty dishes and cutlery.
お手伝いしましょうか。いえ、大丈夫です。それよりシャワーを先に浴びててください。
It's not like her to turn down help like that.
そうですか。ならばお言葉に甘えさせていただきます。
I guess she wants time alone with us? She's kinda forcing her to take a shower. Seeing that, Rain leaves the room looking rather dejected. I take that opportunity to address the situation.
手伝ってもらわなくてよかったのか？
レインさんのこと私よりよく知っているんでしょ？
ああ、あいつ料理は壊滅的だけど皿洗いぐらいなら。
仮想と違ってリアルのお皿は割られちゃ大変だから。
I mean, washing dishes is so easy, guys. If you actually break a dish while you're washing them, you're just fucking retarded. I mean, you're not a fucking kid. Which means she broke a whole lot at the dorm then. Now I feel bad.
すまん。じゃあ、俺が手伝う。
いいよ、もう済んじゃったから。
She puts the final dish in the pile and smiles. But, you know, Rain is trying to fit into the archetype of those, perfect people that has those really weird negatives, right? Or not negatives, but like imperfections. Like, other than the fact that she can't cook and stuff, she's probably pretty much the ideal woman, right? Yeah, for some reason, the archetype shows that those people who look perfect but have those imperfections seem to be cuter or something, from what I know. I personally don't really think so. I actually think that's weird. It's just too much of a stark contrast, right? Perfect people should be perfect in most things. The things that they're not perfect in should be things that, you know, are difficult and not easy to do.
そういえば、空も台所クラッシャーだったもんな。
そうだったね。すごかったな、ソラ先輩ってば。
A hint of sadness washes over her smile this time, making things a bit gloomy.
すみません。石鹸はありませんか？あ、今持っていきますから。
Nanoha scuttles over to the bathroom to hand Rain some soap.
ありがとうございます。
どうしたナノハ？顔が赤いぞ。
ねえ、レインさんと泊まったのに本当に何もしなかったの？
またか。何度も話しただろ。
だってレインさんすごく綺麗だよ。今お風呂の中を見てドキッとしちゃったよ。
そりゃあいつは綺麗だけどな。
The sight of her pristine white skin pops into my head out of nowhere. One I can only endure for a few seconds before quickly chasing it off.
そういえば、こう千夏先輩にドキドキしながらもなかなか手を出さなかったんだよね。
ドキドキするたびに手を出してたら今頃俺は犯罪者だ。
ソラ先輩もアキ先輩も美人だったし、誠ちゃんも可愛いし、こうってば感覚が麻痺しちゃってるんじゃないの？
I mean, my standards are definitely very high.
なんじゃそりゃ。それを言うならお前だって。
You're plenty attractive yourself now, is what I planned on saying, yet I can't finish the line for some reason.
私だって何？
お前は変わってないな。見てるとホッとするよ。
もうどうせ私は成長してないよ。
She puffs her cheeks up and glares at me, but not in a bad way. If anything, it's actually kind of comforting. For whatever reason, just being with her puts me at ease.
とにかくもうレインの話はこれっきりだ。あいつとは恋人じゃないし、今は誰ともそうなるつもりはない。
もしかしてやっぱり NPC の方がいいの？
あのな、お前は一生そのネタで俺をからかうつもりか？
違うよね。ごめん、私分かってるのに。本当にごめん。
The room turns gloomy again after things start to go well.
そんな顔するな。 別に亡くなった人にミサオを立てているわけじゃないからさ。
けど菜の葉さん、シャワーありがとうございました。
だってさ、お湯でも浴びてすっきりしてこい。
ごめんね。
She leaves the room, her head still hung down. I make my way back to the room after my turn in the bath, only to find Nanoha and Rain discussing something seemingly serious.
とりあえずベッドは一つしかありませんから、私がソファーで寝るとしますね。いけません。レインさんはお客さんなんですよ。コウと一緒にベッドで寝てください。それを言うなら、私はかくまってもらってる立場です。どうか遠慮なさらず、コウさんとベッドで。
So much for it being serious. Why are they assuming that I'll sleep with either of them, though?
あのさ、俺がソファーで寝ればいい話だと思うんだけど。
でも、それじゃあ。
それとも川の字になって寝るか？これだけ広いベッドなんだ。3人でも寝ようと思えば寝られると思うけど。
I mean, sometimes, back when I was still living with my siblings, we would kinda do that. You know, like not use the bed as intended. We actually go the other way around. Or, you know, like basically when you sleep on a bed, you go vertical, right? But you try to go horizontal. That only works if you're Asian, though. I think if you're like American, you guys are way too big. Genetically, Asians are way shorter, so you sometimes I'm like super short. I'm 5'2", 157 centimeters. So sleeping that way for me is not in any way a problem.
そんなに女の子に挟まれて寝たいの？
But I mean, I don't know whether or not Ko is trying to actually sleep vertically in a space like that with 3 people. That's actually very cramped. But horizontally, I think you can do it.
なんでそうなる？あのな、別に寝るだけで妙なことをするわけじゃないんだから。
Because that seems to be like what? That doesn't look like a queen size. That's maybe like a double twin. So 140 centimeters in terms of length, right?
私はどちらでも構いませんよ。
She flashes us a smile while putting her hair up. Did she mean for that to sound suggestive?
どちらでもって、レインさん？右でも左でも真ん中でも、私は構いませんから。
She crawls into the bed while saying that.
レイン、なんか菜の葉を挑発してないか？
奥手な女の子はプッシュしてあげないと一歩も前に進めないものですよ。
I turn my attention back to Nanoha, who's gazing up at me with anticipation.
俺、やっぱソファーで寝ようか。
She gives a firm shake of her head in response.
わかった。じゃあベッドで休ませてもらうからな。
This time it's a firm nod, even if the situation's made her face as red as an apple. Typo? Damn, is this what she was hoping for? Learning that's left me with a cheeky grin, so I make sure to slide into bed quick to hide it from her. And thus, the 3 of us spoon together. Is there CG for this? How do you spoon together anyway?
それではおやすみなさい。
ああ、おやすみ。
I close my eyes to try and sleep, yet my own racing heart prevents me from doing so. Eventually, I feel a certain warmth begin to spread through the bed. Said warmth belongs to both of them. I can feel it despite not touching them thanks to the shower they took beforehand. Their scent permeates the room, even while clothed. Times like this I almost wish I wasn't a guy. Even worse, I'm not dealing with the realization of how pretty both of them are. I can't escape the sight of them whichever way I look.
おやすみ。
And thus I opt to cast my gaze up to the ceiling instead. Okay, it's been a while since we actually got a flashback. The class is basically overflowing with students. No, not just students. There are also people from outside the school.
よそからもいっぱい人が来ているみたいね。
そりゃあ、アセンブラはホットな話題だからな。
It's the culture festival at Seishiro. We're at Mr. Kurihara's open lecture on Assembler. I'm actually kind of proud that his research is getting so much attention.
そう。そして
招かれざる客も来るわけだ。
招かれざる客？
Masa's glaring at a certain part of the room. I follow his gaze, and what I see makes me gasp. Gilbert and his gang are standing there like it's nobody's business. He notices us and snorts.
あんにゃろう。まさか講義の邪魔に来たんじゃないよね。
She nods to almost goes to him, but Aki stops her.
待って。今騒いだら逆に迷惑。
騒ぎになる前に叩き出してやりたいところだけどな。
どうしたの一体？何かあったの？
ああ、実はな。
Before I can finish, the door opens up and Mr. Kurihara walks in.
諸君、待たせたな。では早速、今日の講義を始めよう。
気にするな。さあ、講義に集中しよう。
And so we listen to Mr. Kurihara's lecture. Oh, there goes my download. Give me a sec, guys. Gilbert's listening so intently it actually freaks me out. We're actually nearing the conclusion without incident. Okay, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. I really should stop saying boom, 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 to be honest.
そもそもアセンブラは火星のテラフォーミングのためにその研究が開始されたものだ。
Why are we using it on our Earth first then? They really should use it on Mars first.
だがご存知の通り、大規模な宇宙計画
Ah,
は
that's true.
大戦以後すべてキャンセルされ、人類はこの地上で生き抜くことを選択した。
It's still a lot smarter to actually use it on an area we don't use instead of, Earth.
そして一度はアセンブラもその計画が放棄された。暴走時の危険性が大きいと判断されたからだ。だが多くの人間の努力の末、ついに我々は数多くの困難と偏見を退け、実用化一歩手前までたどり着いたのだ。
This lecture actually sounds more like an enthusiastic speech. Part of it is because he's avoiding the really complicated bits, but otherwise, it's all in the fact that Assembler, his ultimate wish, is nearing completion. You can just feel the uncontained emotion in his voice.
我々の世代は先祖の借金を払い続けている。環境汚染、耐性菌、枯渇した大地。はっきり言えば、この星は壊死しかけている。
I mean, our current world is also pretty bad, to be honest.
しかし、アセンブラこそはこの星を救う切り札になり得るのだ。
But I think a lot of people also adopt the same mindset as I do. It's not going to be my problem. It's not going to be a problem in my generation. So let's leave it to the next generation, right? I mean, I might be projecting, but that's how I personally think. I'm gonna die before anything actually happens to the Earth.
そして AI が、脳内チップが、ネット空間がもたらした以上の変革と進歩を必ず人類にもたらすだろう。
He finishes his speech, and the classroom is drowned in applause.
どうやら無事に講義も終わりそうだな。
What the hell? That was a very quick download. Okay, very, very quick. Give me another second here, guys. Japanese. Don't want the Japanese one. USA. There we go. Okay, I'm not saying that anymore. Don't worry. Okay, we get him. I hear a voice from a certain part of the room.
質問があります。
Everyone focuses on Gilbert, and a few students shout out in anger.
王将のやつが何をしているんだ。お前の名前は知ってるぞ。反 AI 派のジルベルト。おや、この講義は学外の参加者も歓迎ではなかったのかね。
Not intimidated one bit, he looks around with a smug grin plastered on his mug. I had no idea he was this well known. He ruined the mood here with a single breath.
そうだ。ここには誰もが参加を認められている。何でも疑問を尋ねてくれたまえ。
それではお尋ねします。栗原博士。
Sorry about that. Still grinning, he walks up to Gilbert.
アセンブラは知性を持つナノマシンと聞いていますが。
正確な意味での知性かどうかは疑問の余地がある。ある程度の類推能力を持った疑似知性であるのは確かであるが、
細かい話はどうでもいいでしょう。 重要なのは AI と同じくそれが考える機械ということです。 AI すら制御できず暴走しているのに、この上また危険な代物を生み出そうというのですか？
He arrives at the front of the class and glares at Mr. Kurihara with eyes full of ridicule.
AI は暴走はしていない。それは対話という方法を通して制御することができている。
I don't know about that. In this current world, I do think they're... I don't think we actually control them through communication. We control them through brute force. Right? He smiles, completely unfazed. This infuriates Gilbert.
そう言っているのはあなた方エイリアニストだけだ。
I don't know. I'm someone who doesn't really care too much about AI myself, guys. Like right now, this is actually a lot more apparent in our world, right? Because Nvidia is like spewing AI so much. But I personally don't care about AI. If people use it, that's okay. If there's a work that's made by AI, that's okay. I'll try it. I'll read it. You know, if there's actually a visual novel made fully by AI. And I'm not talking just about just the visuals, you know. Because in terms of just visuals, they're kind of going okay. Even though I know that artists and stuff aren't really fond of them because they're gonna lose jobs, right? I understand that. But yeah, I feel like, especially with my sort of like videos, there's no way AI can replicate my videos, guys. There's no way they're gonna be able to replicate what I do, you know. Some of the theories that I make are just too stupid and, I don't know, a bit crazy in terms of imagination for AI to follow through. At least that's what I think. So that's why I don't really feel like AI is gonna replace anything.
AI もアセンブラも所詮ノインツェーンマッドサイエンティストの残した負の遺産でしょう。
I don't know who the hell is Nyun Zen. His words freeze the air. Professor Nyun Zen, a scientist renowned for his immense contributions to the fields of AI and nanotechnology. Oh, probably just a make-believe person. And also the greatest madman of our era. It's said he secretly conducted human experiments and ultimately fell victim to his own research. These days, his name is almost taboo. Especially among us, the AI faction. Hearing it reminds us that the technology we rely on has its roots in the work of a mad scientist. I mean, if he's saying just the truth and then you guys take offense to it, I think you guys should take it as you know, as criticism. He's not right. He's not wrong in saying this, in my opinion. The class is overcome by anger. Many stand up and shout at him. Sora grabs Shinatsu's arm, but she shakes it off. Exactly, these guys are not like the target and yet they're going angry. Aki watches the scene with concerned eyes. Mr. Kurihara looks at Gilbert with sadness in his face. Gilbert, on the other hand, sneers at the students closing in on him. Gilbert's gang brace and the students stop. And then there's silence. It's tense. Feels like all hell could break loose at any moment even. His calm voice breaks the silence. He sneers, glares at the students, then looks back at Mr. Kurihara.
世界はエイリアニストのものではない。あなた方が何を信じようが勝手だが、それで世界に悪影響を与えてもらっては困る。
I mean, this particular sentence, in my opinion, is actually something that I agree with Gilbert. People are believed to do whatever they want or whatever they believe. But if it starts to inconvenience the world that we're living on, then that's gonna be an issue with me too, right? So, in this particular sentence, I actually do agree with him.
世の中の約半数以上の人間はあなた方のすることを疑いのいや恐怖の目で見ているのだ。
勝手に人類の半分を代表するのはやめたまえ。そして恐怖とは無知から生まれるものだ。恐れているのは君自身ではないのかね。
Fear is born out of ignorance. Not necessarily so, I'd say, Naoki.
恐れているだと
Gilbert and Mr. Kurihara stare at each other. The tension reaches a new peak.
知っているでしょうが博士。最近 AI やナノに関係する者たちが立て続けに不幸な犯罪の犠牲になっている。
そのようだな。
あなたも口を慎んだ方がいい。噂によれば先生も最近は毎日のように脅迫状を受け取っているそうではないですか。
Gilbert doesn't even try to hide his malicious grin. He finally showed his true colors. They actually came here just to mess up the lecture.
いい加減にして出ていけ。その脅迫状てらもお前らが出したんじゃないのかよ。
Unable to bear it, a few of the students charge at them. Not a single student is sitting down at this point. It's a huge mess.
なんだその振り上げた拳をどうするつもりだ。言論に対する暴力には力ずくで反撃させてもらうぞ。
みんな落ち着きたまえ。彼らの挑発に乗ってはいけない。みんな席に戻りたまえ。
なんだ青州のふぬけどもは。威嚇するだけで実際には手も出せないのか。偉そうなのは仮想空間だけと見える。
Yeah, Gilbert's just a typical provocator, though. That's why I feel like it was kind of good that we got rid of him in the first route. Because he really is just a grunt, in my opinion. He doesn't feel anything like, you know, anything that's grand as a villain. He's kind of garbage. His attitude is also garbage to boot, because he's a designer children. He's not even a full-fledged, like, natural human. You're already experimented on. Mr. Kurihara's words and Gilbert's provocation resound throughout the class. Seishu and Hosho glare at each other. It feels like a fight could break out at any moment.
もういい加減にしてよ。
But then a girl's voice drowns out all the other sounds. The class falls silent and everyone focuses on the source of the voice. A teary-eyed girl biting her lip. It's Nanoha. Still the center of attention, she walks up to Gilbert.
なんだ俺に何か用か。
だから殺すんですか。
What? She looks up at Gilbert in frustration. I've never seen her so mad. Nano is a true crybaby and a scaredy cat, and she's actually facing Gilbert head on.
誰が何を殺したと。
Yeah,
貴様言いがかりもいい加減にしろ。
that's actually a very big accusation. That's true. He glares at her. The sneer on his face is gone.
意見が違うから授業の邪魔をして、それでも黙らなかったら殺すんですか。
She grabs his arm.
話せ。
A vein pops out of his forehead, and his eyes gleam with ferocity.
手を離せ。気安く触るな、エリアニスト。
Nanoha turns pale and starts shivering, but even so, she holds onto him.
まずいぞ、こう。
What is she doing?
ああ、分かってる。
This is no time to sit by and watch. Masa and I run to her. But
それとも力でしつけられなければわからないか。
Gilbert, you're so garbage. Just because you lost in a spat, you actually had to go and do violence. Gilbert's fist heads straight for Nanoha. Time seems to slow down.
ナノハ、危ない。
This is why people that have, you know, people have very bad connotations against people who are arrogant, right? Because the stereotype of arrogant people are like Gilbert here. When they lose in something, they actually have to overcompensate in something else that they can win against or win at. And usually it's violence. Like, come on. Like, the reason why I'm saying this is because I myself, as I said, have a pretty arrogant personality. But I know if I'm arrogant and then someone actually criticizes me and I'm in the wrong, I'll take that as criticism.
この程度かよ。
I guess we shielded her. I made it right in time. Thank goodness. I'll gladly take 100 hits before I let anyone punch Nanoha. Okay, give me a sec here, guys. I think I'm done with that download. Let's see. This one is done, yes. Okay, that one's done. Give me just 1 second. There we go.
全然痛くも痒くもないぜ。
That's actually a lie. It hurts so much I can't even open my eyes. A second hit would probably KO me.
貴様殺してやる
Nanoha and I are pushed aside. Mr. Kurihara takes her place.
やめたまえ。
学者風情が
Gilbert raises his arm
身の程を教えてやろうか
and grabs Mr. Kurihara by his arm. However,
貴様
before I know it, Gilbert's arm bends in an unnatural way. Mr. Kurihara is pushing his joint to its limit.
君らはどうしてそうなのかね。
He puts even more power into his grip. It's downright relentless. Is he also a designer, children? His eyes are so scary he seems like an entirely different person. I recall that he looked similar during the battle in Anonymous City. The sudden change in the air around him leaves everyone in shock.
まさかこのまま折っちゃうの
I mean, I think there's no problem with that. It was clearly self-defense. Or, I guess not really self-defense because this is a different person. But, you know, it's a form of punishment, right? Gilbert breaks out in a cold sweat.
先生ダメ
The very moment before the joint breaks, Aki clings to Mr. Kurihara.
アキ君。
As though coming back to his senses, he lets go of Gilbert's arm.
貴様よくも
今警備の人を呼びましたあと少しでここに来てくださるそうです
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to say schoolgirl anymore. This is clearly Rain. She's even using the yellow, like, text color. The moment that voice rings out, Gilbert and his gang are drowned in jeers.
ミュータント帰れ化け物帰れお前らだってノインツェーンの負の遺産だろうが黙れ黙れこの汚らしいエイニアリストめ覚えていろお前らなど最後の一人まで
I mean, maybe Gilbert has his own character arc. Looking at it, he's probably being condemned by both sides, right? Because what that schoolboy said was also not wrong. He's an anti-AI faction person, but he was also the byproduct of an experiment with AI. That's why I said that designer children definitely had to be a reproduction or, yeah, a production of AI, right? There's no way that humans were the one that's able to just, you know, tinker with their brain and whatnot to make those guys.
泣くな、菜の葉。もう平気だから。
As I comfort her, Sora and the others run up to us.
大丈夫こう
ああ、このくらいなら、お前らに殴られ慣れてるしな。
根絶されるのはお前らが先だ汚らわしいミュータント野郎お前らなんて人間ですらないくせに
I still hear the gleeful jeers of my fellow students.
しかし、なんか違うよな。
I don't like it one bit. Sure, I hate both Gilbert and anti-AI people in general, but this seems wrong in its own way.
どうしてこうなっちゃうんだろう
Sora seems to be thinking the same thing.
あの人たちも私たちも 自分の立場を選んで生まれてきたわけじゃないのに。
I never chose to be born at all, Sora. Her face is full of abject sadness. But it doesn't matter how we are born, right? It's the choices who makes us. Thanks to that incident, I'm not up for participating in the festival's nighttime events. Even so, by the time I leave the school, it's already dark out. Stars are shining in the sky.
菜の葉、大丈夫か？
私は尻餅をついただけだから。
She nods, clearly in low spirits.
こうこそ大丈夫？
言ったろ、殴られ慣れてるって。でもお前。
ごめんね。ついカッとしちゃって。
いや、それはいいけど。
We both fall silent.
なあ、菜の葉。
I try talking to her, but I can't find the right words. I feel like whatever I say will just rub salt into her wounds. We end up walking half of the way home without saying a word.
どうした？菜の葉。
あれ先生じゃない？
I follow her gaze and... Yeah, it is. He's standing at the side of the path, looking up at the stars. We stop and watch him, but he quickly notices and faces us.
いやあ、君たち。
こんばんは、先生。
せっかくの文化祭だというのに、さっきは恥ずかしいところを見せてしまったね。
I mean, it wasn't your fault. He says that with his usual smile, which fills me with relief.
君らには助けられたよ。改めて礼を言う。
いえ、私たちは何も。
It suddenly hits me that if Aki didn't stop him, Mr. Kurihara would have definitely broken Gilbert's arm. I still remember how relentless he was during the encounter in Anonymous City. He's normally gentle and friendly, but gets on his bad side and you'll see someone merciless and scary.
先生、ひょっとしてそれ血じゃないんですか？
Nanoha notices the fluid dripping from his sleeve. He's bleeding from the back of his hand.
ああ、大丈夫。石を投げられただけだ。
Did people throw that at you?
投げられただけって。もしかして、王将の連中の仕業ですか？
ああ、よほど悔しかったのだろう。私を待ち伏せ、石を投げて逃げていったよ。
What garbage people.
くそ、なんて卑劣な連中なんだ。
寮に来てください。すぐに手当てをしますから。
いや、大丈夫だ。血は止まっているし、もう少し空を眺めていたい。
What would I do if I was in your shoes, Naoki?
もう、そうはいきませんよ。だったら救急箱を取ってきますから。
Nanoha runs off without even giving him a chance to respond.
優しい子だ。あの子に何事もなくてよかった。
An unfair world, huh? He sees her off with a kind look in his eyes.
何かあれば、若草博士に申し開きができないところだったよ。
It's not because of you, though.
先生は菜の葉の両親が亡くなっているのをご存知だったんですね。
I actually didn't know that they were already dead.
ああ。ナノフラワーのことを調べてみたんだね。聞いたのはナノハ君からかい？
What is that nanoflower? He said that before, I think, on the previous flashback a while ago.
はい。
では、テロのことも？
ええ。まさかあんないい人たちが殺されるなんて。
前も話したと思うが、私にとっては恩人であり、死である人たちだ。
I mean, that's also the reason why I don't want to become like kind people. Kind people? They always get the short end of the stick, right?
テロの首謀者は結局捕まらずじまいだったが、正直私は犯人を許せない。
I mean, I don't think I'm an evil person. I'm definitely just indifferent towards most things. But I definitely will never be kind. What you say is a prayer, and I always say that I will never be kind. So I know for a fact that there's very little chance of me being kind to anyone except for myself.
もし犯人が判明したら、今でも私は直接手を下したいとすら思う。
先生。
いや、失言だったな。すまない。菜の葉君もそんなことを望んではいないだろう。
It's not about what other people want, Naoki. It's about what you want to do. That's how I feel. He hangs his head and shakes it. Just because Nanoha has her own feelings about what, her parents mean to her, you also have your own feelings about what her parents feel to you, right? What they mean to you.
いえ、俺も先生と同じ気持ちですよ。でも確かに菜の葉は優しいやつですからね。きっと平和に話し合いで解決することを願うでしょうね。
そうだな。
He falls silent and looks up at the sky again.
君はあの星座を知っているかね？
No, I think I said this before, but I don't know anything about astrology.
牛飼い座でしたっけ？
そうだ。そして牛飼い座の牛飼いが誰なのかは諸説があってはっきりしない。2頭のお牛で引く月の発明者と言われ、また兄弟により財産を奪われ、世界中を放浪した男の姿だとも言われている。
それが菜の葉の両親と何か関係しているのですか？
若草博士も故郷を追われた人なのだよ。
His eyes are burning with profound indignation.
博士はナノフラワーの研究によってアセンブラの開発に大きな功績を挙げたお方だ。だがそれゆえに迫害され、故郷を去らねばならなかった。その後も何度も脅迫を受けている。何度も引っ越したのはそれが理由だったとも聞いている。
What is the nano flower again? God damn it. I forgot about what that is. If we've actually already been told about it.
そうだったんですか。
だからこそ私はアセンブラの完成を急がねばならない。アセンブラが真の完成を見れば、もうそんな悲劇も繰り返されることはないのだから。
Doing something to show other people, Naoki, it's not worth it. His eyes are gleaming with determination. He's right. Once Assembler's complete, people like Gilbert are bound to shut up. It really makes me hope the development goes well.
あの子を見ていると妹を思い出す。というより、君たちを見ていると妹や弟たちを思い出すよ。
先生には妹や弟さんがいるんですか？
Are they dead?
いたというべきだな。
Guess so. That's a strange answer.
私の故郷はね、いいところだった。環境再生地区にあるのどかな農村で、私は8人家族の次男だった。
Family of 8, god damn. I guess you were in the countryside, so money was probably less of an issue.
8人。ずいぶん賑やかだったんでしょうね。
貧乏人の子だくさん。貧しいながらも幸せな家族というやつだ。がその幸せは前世紀の負の遺産により奪われてしまったのだ。はるか昔、何者かが極めつけの有毒物質を密閉容器に収め、地中深くに埋めて投棄したのだ。
Wait, that's what killed your family? What happened? Did you like dig for them?
長い年月の末、そのコンテナの存在は忘れ去られ、やがて地中で亀裂が入り、内蔵された有毒物質を地面に向かって染み出させた。弟も妹も両親もその犠牲になった。土壌に潜んだ毒物がゆっくりとみんなの体を蝕んでいたのだ。まず父が倒れた。母は頑張って私たちを養い看病してくれたが、その体も知らず知らず毒物に汚染され、いきなり倒れてそれっきり。父より数日早く他界した。その時には兄弟の数も半分になっていて、一人ぼっちになった後、 故郷は焼却処分された。今もその地には誰一人として住んでいない。
I mean, yeah, I guess that's probably similar to radiation.
先
すまない。つまらない話をしてしまったな。
His smile is so sad it hurts.
生、そうだったんですか。何と言っていいのかわからないですけど。
If I was Ko, I probably would have just asked him. These type of people are, people that I'm interested in knowing why they're still alive, and that's probably what I would have asked him. What's the reason you're still living then? Don't you want to follow in the footsteps of your, already deceased family? What makes you go on living?
上を見ても下を見てもキリはない。私など幸せな時間があっただけマシというものだ。
でも自分が恥ずかしいですよ。俺なんてお袋を亡くしただけでひどいショックだったのに。
悲しいものは悲しい。それを恥じる必要はない。
I agree. Doesn't really work when you compare your own sadness to other people, because even in the same sort of circumstances, even in the same sort of even the same personality and whatnot, your experiences are gonna be very different. Because that's what makes you an individual, right? He slaps my shoulder.
幸せは主観的なものだ。人と比較し、理性を納得させたとしても、感情が同意してくれるとは限らない。
I agree. His consoling words warm my heart. This is the kind of thing I wanted to hear from Dad.
だから先生はアセンブラを研究する道に進んだんですね。
ああ、そうとも。私はそれに人生のすべてを捧げている。
I guess that's the reason why he's still living. He's putting his everything into it. He looks up at the sky and speaks solemnly. It almost sounds like an oath.
世界には時間が残されていない。それ以上に私には時間がないのだ。
Yeah, I mean, every year, instead of wishing myself happy birthday in my head, I'm just getting closer to 1 year of death, right? Getting 1 year closer to death. It's a very grim way of looking at it, but that's really how I feel when I approach my own birthday. I look ahead and see Nanoha, followed by the rest of our merry group.
なんだ、みんな来ちゃったのか。夜中に女の子を一人で行かせられないしな。
さあ先生、手を出してください。ちゃちゃっと消毒しちゃいますから。
ああ、すまないな。
He looks at us with gentle eyes. It makes my heart sting a bit. This is probably how he looked at his late siblings.
菜の葉くん、今度よかったら研究所を見学に来ないかね。
いいんですか先生。
ああ、もちろんだ。とはいえ、あまり面白い場所でもないかもしれないが。
とんでもない。でも本当にいいんですか？迷惑だったりしませんか？
若草博士は
Oh, sorry about
恩師
that.
であり恩人であり、何より希望を与えてくれた人だ。
I think I pressed on my controller a bit too long there. He places his bandaged hand on Nanoha's head.
先生。
その恩を忘れてしまっては、私はただの偏屈者になってしまうからね。
ありがとうございます、先生。
Nanoha bows her head. She's actually moved to tears.
よかったね、ナノハちゃん。
無論、みんなも一緒に来たまえ。君たちなら歓迎するよ。
先生、感謝。
Everyone came along with Nanoha?
どう？話が決まったところで。先生、ご飯はまだでしょ？今日は私が特製パスタにチャレンジしたんですけど。
そうだな。では、ごちそうになるとするか。
そうこなくっちゃ。
Chinatsu and Sora grab Mr. Kurihara by his arms and drag him.
おいおい、君たち。
いいからいいから。
It's crazy to think that someone like this might be fooling all of us into, into a made-up story and actually just cares about himself. Like, I personally am not someone like Kurihara here. Someone like Naoki. I say it straight up. But I guess, as I said, not most people are not as honest as me. I mean, even as honest as I am, sometimes I lie to myself, right? Sometimes unconsciously. But I try to be as honest as I can. As I watch the pleasant sight, someone pulls on my arm. It's Makoto. What's she trying to tell me? Her face is strangely tense. Suddenly, I see something behind her that makes me grimace.
どうしたの二人とも。
なんでもない。いいから行くぞ。
ダメ、行く。なのはじゃ。
Makoto and I pull Nanoha aside to keep her from seeing what's behind the bushes. Something dead?
どうしたの一体。
A dead dog? A dead cat? A dead human? It's dark, so I didn't see very clearly, but I'm quite sure I saw a bunch of men on the ground, all covered in blood. Oh, did he actually... Oh, I guess those people actually didn't run away? It reminded me of the blood on Mr. Kurihara's fist. I guess he might have DID, dissociative identity disorder. You know, basically a split personality. Because the way he was saying that doesn't seem like he was trying to lie to us. Maybe there's actually some selective memory inside of his brain that, you know, he just didn't remember after getting that wound. I'm gonna go one more scene. It's already 2 hours, but I still want to see. I still want to see what happens in his game. I wake up to darkness surrounding me. See, I may be quite an emotionless bastard, guys. I might be a cold person. But someone like Naoki there, I feel like I could kind of relate to some degree. I don't think I would personally try to lie to myself, though, about how I'm trying to show something for the world and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But if his true nature is actually that violent nature of his, then I think I'm kind of similar in the same respect. I can hear Rain sleeping behind me. Oh, right. We stayed over at Nanoha's.
ごめん、起こしちゃった。
Nanoha's voice rings out from right in front of me.
なのは。
夢を見ていたの。
There's that sadness in her tone again. This time I can feel it right up close. I can also feel her gripping onto my shirt with both hands.
ああ、まあな。昔の先生の夢を見ていた。
こうは先生を疑ってる。私は信じてる。先生のことを信じてるの。
俺だって信じたいさ。
Life would be simpler if I could believe in him. Yet I know I can't do so blindly. Thank you, girl. I'm unable to close my eyes or avert my gaze, which leads to an awkward atmosphere. Suddenly, Rain wraps herself around me from behind. Her well-endowed features plant themselves against my back as a result.
おい、レイン、ちょっと。
I try to get her off me in a panic, but Nano is too close to make that work. The initial panic causes me to make contact with her regardless, though.
すまん。これはなんというか。
いいよ。わざとじゃないから。
Or so she says, but I can see her face turn red. My heart's starting to race as well.
ごめんね、こう。
何を謝っているんだ？
今日の私、やきもちを焼いてるみたいで、なんかみっともなかったなって。
She lets out a sigh, giving me yet another whiff of her sweet scent.
昔からそうなんだ。こうは友達、幼馴染の親友と思っているのに、時々妙に寂しくなっちゃって。変だよね。私、こうとは親友でいられればいい。 昔から本気でそう思っているはずなのに。
I mean, I guess you were asking for more, Nanoha. I personally, never think about anything if, you know, I never... Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on the mentality of the person itself, right? I don't see romance in anything, guys. I don't really believe in romance, or it's not that I don't believe in it, but I don't feel romance, you know. It's very difficult for me to feel attracted to a person. So, all of my female associates, all of my female, you know, friends, I don't really see them as potential candidates for like marriage or anything. I just see them as friends. I treat them the same way as I do my guy friends. Like, I don't care, like, at all. Whether they see me as disgusting, whether they see me as, you know, not particularly like romantic too in their eyes, not just my own. Like, I don't care. I see a lot of my friends change how they behave in front of females, you know, when we have like a group meetup or something, right? And to me, it's really weird. I don't understand the reasoning. Like, I don't care, you know? Like, maybe I'm the different, or I'm the weird one in that regard. But it's just never very intuitive for me to be like that. Like, I really do not care. Seeing myself reflected in her eyes causes me to stall for a bit.
ガキの頃はいつも二人っきりだったからな。お前が寂しがる気持ちもわからなくはないよ。
だよね。きっとそうだよね。
She tightens her grip on my shirt, then pulls herself a bit closer. I can feel the warmth of her skin through it now that we're this close.
この話、昔もしたんだけど、覚えてないね、きっと。
でも、きっと思い出すよ。お前との約束もちゃんと思い出したんだからさ。
こう、本当にリアルで合ってるんだよね。私、こうのリアルボディに触れているんだよね。
Her voice is wavering, which sets me off. I feel a certain emotion run through me for a split second. Before I know it, I'm hugging her tight.
実感できたか。俺たちはリアルボディを触れ合わせているんだ。
Her eyes are wandering all about now. I can feel her heart racing through my own body.
離さないで。で、その、別にエッチな意味じゃなくて、その。
She doesn't try to push me away.
知ってるか？ハグは恋人じゃなくてもしていいものなんだぞ。
Saying that, I hug her even tighter. If anything, it was a reminder for myself. Her scent is sweet and nostalgic. The tighter I hold her, the softer she feels.
親友にこうしてもらうと、本当にほっとするんだね。
Her tiny body sinks into mine. Just as the nervousness in her tone disappears, her arms warp around my back. And yet, a tear makes its way down her cheek.
不思議だよ。こんなにほっとしたのは久々なのに。
菜の葉。
嬉しいのに。どうしてだろう。あれ、変だよ。どうして止まらないんだろう。
A single tear becomes a stream of them. The sight makes me feel like doing the same. It's at this point where I question myself. The whole reason I wanted to become a hero was to protect her.
ごめん。私、レイさんもいるのに。もう、泣きそう。
I help bury her face into my chest, trying desperately to hold back my own
い
pain.
いから。泣いていいんだ。
Man, the problem with characters like this is that in my mind, if there was no Ko, how the hell would Nanoha survive in a world like this, right? That's how the world works, Nanoha. Even if there is no Ko, you just gotta survive on your own. And thus, Nanoha spent the next hour crying into my chest. Man, my what do you call it? My my clothes must be very wet.
セーブします。
Okay, that's actually perfect though, that the save point is actually at the end of the chapter. But yeah, that is a very nice chapter. Not because of Nanoha, surprisingly. It was because of Naoki. I do feel that sometimes in these games, the characterization for the females are actually just way too normal, guys. That's why I don't really get interested in any of the romantic scenes with any of the heroines in this game. Maybe there might be something with Aki and also Makoto because they're a bit like someone that we don't know the nature of, because we don't really talk to them all that much, right? Because they're the what do you call it? The silent type. Maybe we're gonna learn a lot more with them. But as for the characters who we've seen so far, they're kind of just, I don't know, a bit too normal for me. And it's not as if normal is bad, right? But I guess I'm just the type of person that really likes it when something is more interesting. I don't know, maybe that's not a good thing when it comes to romance, but that's why I don't really know or understand romance all that well either, I guess. But yeah, this is going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. YouTube members will be getting these early access but nothing uncensored. But don't worry, on these Baldr Sky episodes, you guys are not missing much. If this is going to be the same as the other route, it's just going to be 2 8 scenes that really won't be much added to the plot, really. Also, for people on YouTube that aren't on Patreon just yet, feel free to become a free member because that's going to be where I put first episode previews of future playthroughs. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.